Speedrunning is defined by completing a video game as fast as possible. The most popular games, speedruns, are defined by its iconic areas and techniques that are widely recognized even by those who have never played the game before. Take Mario 64 for example, which is most known for its beginning stage of Whomps, where you can interact with everyone's favorite dog, the Chain Chomp, as well as the fastest and glitchiest way to move in the game, the backwards long jump, or just BLJ for short, where Mario throws it back so hard and so often he transcends time and space and quantum physics to phase through walls to reach areas you would never normally be able to. But enough about 3D Mario games, because if you know me at all, my favorite franchise of all time is Mario Kart. I compete at the highest level in tournaments and the ranked ladder online, where I play against the best players of all time on a regular basis, and can keep up quite well for myself. But even if you followed me for a long time, you might not be familiar with the fact that I am the most accomplished, not in the online ladder or in tournaments, but actually in Mario Kart Deluxe speedrunning. However, I've always had a favorite category in Mario Kart Deluxe, and that is the item speedruns. In Mario Kart Deluxe, the way item speedruns played out was the CPUs would very often pull shocks, and you could lose a ton of time to a target shock, and those were pretty random. But by far my favorite part of the item speedruns were the red shells. Despite them being a huge issue at seemingly every item set, you could find very creative ways to dodge them in the form of wall dodges, and I got very good at this technique and used it often to keep a fast line when most times people would lose almost 3 whole seconds for just getting hit by one. I utilized this technique along with many others that I couldn't possibly go over in just one video to achieve many world records in the item speedrun categories, with 2 of them still standing to this day, in both the bonus and retro tracks, which funnily enough, those tracks are by far my least favorite groups of tracks in the franchise for me. This is all to say that I finally got the itch to speedrun Mario Kart again, not in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but in Mario Kart World. And with the new mechanics of rails, wall riding, and charge jumping, along with the many shortcuts and other techniques, the driving will be no slouch to master. However, with my experience in competitive Mario Kart World, especially in 12-player events where connecting tracks are banned, I have gotten pretty good at all the actual tracks in the game, and wanted to use my skills to potentially aim for a world record. But of course, I am still interested in the item speedruns, just like I was in Mario Kart Deluxe. So imagine my surprise when by far the most popular category of speedrunning in Mario Kart World is the one I plan on playing and grinding to its fullest in today's video. The 30-track classic item speedrun with CPUs, or just classic comms for short. But what's so unique about this category, and maybe why almost 200 people have submitted official runs for this specific category so far, is because there are infinite possibilities for the amount of routes you can take to finish the speedrun. The way you play this category is by selecting any track in the world map and completing a race as fast as possible in versus mode. Then moving on to another track on the map, and you continue this process until you complete runs on every single track on all 30 tracks in the game. This means that there are 30 factorial, or 2.65 e to the power of 32 possible routes, which, just to put into perspective, is more than the amount of animals on planet Earth, the amount of stars in the observable universe, and the amount of checkers games possible. The amount of chess games is a little too big. Anyways, point is, I need to create a route for myself. And since there are a lot of routes possible, to prevent myself from getting lost in the sauce, I needed to find my starting track. And this is incredibly important because you want to choose a track where you can get plenty of attempts in to get off to a great start. Maybe I choose a track where I know there will be a lot of variants, like Rainbow Road, where you can fish for the perfect start with little shocks or blue shells. Or maybe Bowser's Castle, a difficult track to pull off to perfection. Or maybe I start with the track the world record starts with, Starview Peak. Loberia starts with this track because it has one of the most difficult shortcuts in the game to pull off, along with the fact that it saves over 1.5 seconds compared to going around. This is a fantastic candidate for the first track, and that's one of the reasons he holds the world record. But for these reasons, I'm going to put Starview Peak in the second slot, because you don't need a mushroom at all to pull off the shortcut. Why is this important, you may ask? Well, for the first track of this speedrun, you start in last place, and very often you will get the opportunity at the holy grail of items, triple mushrooms. If you can pull triple mushrooms at the first item set without even stopping, you can save so much time on just the first track. So I got to thinking, what's the best way to find out what track is great for pulling triple mushrooms on? This is where I consulted the NITA leaderboards, which is a community-run leaderboard where you cannot use any mushrooms, and I compared them to the in-game leaderboards to find out the biggest difference between the shroom and shroomless world records. And one track stood out above the rest, and that is Great Question Block Ruins. And it wasn't particularly close. The difference between the two world records was almost 10 full seconds, meaning just one shroom saves about 3 seconds, and of course, 3 would save 9 seconds and give a great head start over even the world record, which never attempts to go for a mushroom on this track. So now that I have the first 2 tracks figured out, I am now aiming to be in the menu for as little time as possible in between races to save as much time as I can after these first 2 tracks. I started to map out my route where I would head over to the next most difficult track, Bowser's Castle, and here's the final route for those of you curious. Now I'll show you guys my first ever 30-track classic speedrun with live commentary and see where we land on the leaderboards on my first attempt. Welcome everyone to my first ever speedrun in Mario Kart World. Now this is going to be the first phase of 3 total phases. You guys got the rundown in the intro, but basically for this one I'm not going to play with my food too much. I'm just gonna make sure that I get what I want and get on out of here. And that's a great start actually, because I want 6 shrooms because of how many shortcuts there are on this track. And I broke down exactly why I'm choosing this as my first track. But yeah, there's 3 phases in this video in terms of actually speedrunning. First phase here is just my first run. And then second phase is going to be, well, trying to grind down the world record a little bit. And then, eventually, I want to maybe try and get to the third phase, which is the world record run. So, well, I'll be showing probably a majority of this first one just to give you guys exactly what is going down in every single one of these races. And then I'll probably show the world record run for the majority of it. But anyways, for now though, this is a great start. I have a huge lead. And I'm hoping that I can already have a big lead on... This is Side B's split, so this is second worldwide. I got them graciously from him, luckily for me. And I think I'm going to have a huge lead over his Great Block Ruins split, if this is actually the correct splits. I was kind of messing around with them, I wasn't really paying attention too much, but I think this is the correct split for each track. I did reorder them quite a bit compared to what Side B is actually doing, but yeah, there's no blue, no shock. This is a great first run. It'd be really, really funny if, like, okay, that doesn't really matter, but it'd be really funny if, like, I just got the world record in the first run. That'd be fucking hilarious. But you gotta spam A here to make sure we don't miss out on extra time. Go to Starview Peak. So I'm ahead 25 seconds, which... that's pretty insane already. But Starview Peak here, I will be going for Nisk when I'm grinding this down. Today, I will not be doing that because the Nisk is just a little too hard. I will just be running. And, yeah. This will... well, I'm gonna try, see if I can pull feathers here. Do the feather cuts on this track because the feather cut on this track is... it's not quite like the shroom cut, but it's pretty close. Oh, that's a great pull. This is lovely. We just need to take the best lines we can. Oh my gosh. I probably should not have spammed that coin, but surely I don't get ghosted here, right? I didn't get ghosted in the first race. Surely that doesn't happen in the second race either. Yeah. Honestly, using that coin is not too bad, because we're gaining time overall. If I held the coin, sure, I'd make up a lot of lost time from not getting the coins, but I get 4 extra coins overall in this section. I think I would have been okay. Yep. That's also another thing that makes this speedrun interesting, is the Kameks. They're going to be a lot of fun to deal with. And now I have absolutely zero reason to use my coin if I get anything good behind. Unless it's like a horn, then I guess it might as well ghost some reds or something that the CPUs could have. Yeah, once I'm grinding this down, I'll be going for Nisk. And that's the whole reason why this track is second, is just we need the time save from Great Block Ruins, obviously, and then we need, you know, to get the hard track, the hardest track in the game, out of the way. That saves, you know, a lot of time with the shortcuts. So once you get past this, then the run actually starts, and you can start to believe, you know. Sure. I'll spam more coins so I can get more boosts. Why not? I'm gonna be, I think, ahead quite a bit here compared to side B splits. I think I might be up like 30 seconds in total, which that would already be world record pace. But of course, there's lots of time left. That's a great shock again. I'm getting very lucky so far. 29 seconds. Okay, so we saved 4. That is pretty good. But the thing is, now we have to start really just locking in, because, you know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And yeah, there's a lot of tracks that I know side B is way better than me in, and one of them is definitely Desert Hills. He's like top 10 worldwide on that track. And of course Liberia, the world record holder, probably better than me on a lot of tracks as well. So we'll just have to hope that my route carries me here, even though my driving is no slouch. I probably will be speedrunning this during the subathon, if this video is coming out, of course, before the subathon, because it might come out after, we'll see. Not too shabby. I'm going to back, because I haven't really seen any red so far. And okay, Feather, I don't know if I'm saving any time with this Feather. Maybe that saved time, I don't really know. The main point is I want to get my coins up here. That's why I'm using my items. The key here today as well, just in general for the video, is I don't want to be making very many mistakes. I could definitely get starred there. That would be kind of funny if I did, but get these coins out early, because why not? Nice. I'm getting a lot of coin blocks in this speedrun so far, which is kind of great. Okay, here comes some reds. What? Oh, they disappear if you're too far ahead. I didn't know that. Okay, that'll be good information to keep track of. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, okay. Interesting. That could happen with blue shells, by the way, as well, but I didn't think they happened with reds. Huh. Well, that's really good. Interesting. I lose a little bit on Boo Cinema. I don't know why, but maybe it was partially menuing, partially other things. I don't know. I think here I really do want a coin block at the start. That would be excellent stuff. There also needs to be in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There's a lot of cases where you would have to just hope. Oh, that's not good. You'd have to just hope that you don't get redded at the start. That doesn't seem like this happens very often in Mario Kart World, which is really nice. I'd much rather it be this way, because yeah, it's just not fun having to base your entire run off of RNG from the start of a race, because oftentimes when you get redded, you get you know, it snowballs into, you know, more blues, more shocks, things like that. But in this game, you don't have that problem, so I kind of didn't hate that RNG aspect of speedrunning in 8 Deluxe, which is why I did run quite a bit, but it seems like the reds are finally coming. Gotta make sure that on lap 3 here, I don't do anything too crazy. Like, I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna go for the... Okay, this is the first blue shell of the speedrun. That wasn't a bad respawn, though. Oh, I forgot you can do the rewind thing. Actually, that might have been better. I don't know if I want to necessarily always... Oh, that sucks. Okay. I don't know if I necessarily always want to rewind. But yeah, I forgot. It's gonna take some getting used to, rewinding for blue shells. Because I think you can keep your item as well. Not like I had an item to keep that time, but just as an example, you know. Does this make it? Nice, okay. So yeah, maybe that time the respawn was actually better, but I need to remember from now on to not be doing that. Since it is my first run, I will forgive myself for not remembering that. Okay, lost a little bit of time on Acorn Heights. I don't really know what I'm losing to here, but I don't know. Probably lost a little bit to Shock and Blue, if I had to take a wild guess. But for Boo Cinema, I'm not too sure what lost there. Maybe it could have been late splits as well in his run that he got. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, Feather's decent. I can take the Feather Cut at the end of the track. The only problem is I'm not going to get any extra coin items here. But I guess I'd rather get it early, you know, because I'm probably spending my coin and... Well, I guess I'd have 2 extra coins, but whatever, you get the point. The point is... Maybe I don't necessarily want the Feather first for the perfect RNG, but this is definitely pretty good. Oh yeah, also they could just be saving time through Feather Cuts on the other tracks. Because you can pull that in first, of course. For Dry Bones Burnout, I'm assuming this is pretty good for a start. So perhaps I'm going to save time on this split. You never know. And it's very possible as well that the splits are just wrong and they should be having different times, but they seem pretty accurate so far. So I don't think that's necessarily the case. I had to brake a little bit to make sure I made this. Like I said, as long as I don't make any crazy bad mistakes, we might even beat Side B's PB, which would be kind of insane, considering this is my first try. I think those coins might be worth it, especially if I'm going to get up to 20 pretty soon. It's going to be also pretty important is making the correct coin decisions every single lap. And I could have gone for the candle strat here, but since it's my first run, I also just want to be playing it safe, see what kind of pace I'm on, see what kind of strats I want to be going for. If I don't make too many mistakes, I want to know what things do I need to risk in order to go for world record, or is it completely fine that I am driving the way I am? Gold split on Dry Bones Burnout. I don't know if that was just because of the feather. That might be the case. It also, I kind of split late on Acorn, but I don't know if Great Block actually is saving me 20 seconds over like Loberia's record, for example, or 25 even. But if it's saving any amount of time at all over just the rest of the run, that would be perfect. Also, I don't know why I'm not spamming my coin there. That was actually not that bad. I might be losing a little bit of time on this track, because for one, I'm not going to be risking much of anything. Not going to be going for the ending Nisk, for example. Maybe if I'm feeling myself, but probably not today. Because again, I want to see what kind of pace I'm at just by driving normal. But yeah, if I'm anywhere near world record, this is definitely one of the first tracks I will be risking my attempts on, because you have that ending Nisk, which saves a ton of time, not quite as much as Starview Peaks Nisk, but about half that, I would say. So, next to Starview, this is the next best track to be risking a lot of stuff on. And it's early on in the run as well, so that really helps. I'd honestly even consider routing this track to be third because of the fact that I want to be going for risky strats, for example. But having it in the 7th slot is not bad. You also, you know, if you pull Feather, for example, that'll be saving a lot of time. So hopefully there's no shock before this, because I've been getting pretty lucky with the shock so far, I gotta say. But maybe that changes. That was an absolutely horrendous feather cut, but at least I didn't fall off. Okay, that's fine. Just in case there's a red. Probably didn't need to do that, actually. But I mean, who cares? Like I said, it's my first run. There's probably going to be plenty of mistakes in this. I'm going to try and reduce them as much as I can. Just have a really good baseline, but yeah. For now, this is a very, very strong start. I'm not going to check what the world record is, by the way. I know it's in the 118s, but I just want to kind of keep the pressure off myself just in case it does get close at some point. So now with Airship, I'm going to do the good old Alien Pie strat. If you know, you know. And this will hopefully... Oh no, I'm bumped off by the Koopa! That's a big time loss right there. At least I get these coins, so it's, you know, not the worst thing ever to get bumped off there, but you definitely would rather get a start that, you know, lets you stay on the rails instead of pushing you off. So now I'm going to be, I think, maybe I still spam my coins because I haven't really got redded yet. Maybe I don't want to risk that. I'm going to try and get a box here. If I don't get a box here, I'll hold. If I do get a box, I can spam it, okay. Not, that's fine. Now we have a defense item. Okay, once I get to 18, I think I'll use my coin. Actually, let's just use it now, because, you know, I'm getting my 20th coin later, and then the next coin after is really close, so I might as well just use it early. Super unlikely I get redded, so just saves a little bit of extra time. Even if it doesn't seem like much, it might matter. Oh my gosh, I thought I failed that. But no, no bad mistakes so far. This is actually, like, really nice. Okay, feather. I can do the feather cut at the end if there's no shock. Don't think blue would ever reach me, but if there's no shock. Wow. That is very strong. Wow, 5-second time save from Airship. That's pretty good. We're just gradually saving more and more time over the run, which is pretty good. If that's going to get me a world record spot. I might get bumped off the rail here. Maybe. Hopefully not. Oh, Mario burns out, and then DK almost bumped me off, but we're good. And DK got a first place box, so I should be fine from any reds. Good turn skip. And just like I broke down in the intro, there are some difficult tracks late on in the speedrun. But the good thing is, there's just, you know, those tracks I'm somewhat confident in, except for Salty. And, you know, them being late on in the race, or in the speedrun, just means I know whether or not I can risk certain things if I'm on good pace, right? So, for example, if... Oh, that's a really bad mistake. That's gonna lose me a lot. Probably like 3 seconds. That coin block helps, though. What was I saying? So yeah, you know, Salty, for example, I might risk the Nisk. Potentially. Because I know the world record and Side B's run don't do it because the Nisk was discovered after they got those runs.
But yeah, I also could have risked the rails thing here, but again, that's like a smaller bit of time save, and we're not grinding right now. We're trying to just get a good baseline first run. Okay, there is a blue, but it might dissipate. Oh, that's not good for the blue dissipating. Okay, I gotta rewind this time if it reaches me. Oh, that was not a great rewind. Okay, sometimes you do probably want to fall off, I would say. Like, that time it might have been more worth to just fall off the track. I don't know. It's kind of close. Yeah, losing a lot of time there. I mean, that was mainly because of my big mistake, but also the blue and the shock didn't help that. I get to Desert Hills. This, I know Side B will probably save a lot of time on me because he is really cracked at this. But if we can come out of, like, Whistle Stop Summit up more than 20 seconds, I will be extremely satisfied with how things are going. In fact, I'm even gonna do a little counter drift strat. Ooh, feather. I can do the feather cut here. And actually, I'm gonna go for these coins. Ah, well, I'll go for this double, because if I get a feather, it's definitely worth it. Okay, well, yeah, like I said, 5B's probably gonna be getting a lot of time on me here, but I hope to keep up with him just a little bit. Like, that's a really good Nisk. And I don't want to be ever trapping in this. In 8 Deluxe, you wanted to really, and I mean this quite literally, you wanted to place traps in the middle of the road, because that could actually get some reds sometimes. Okay, you can rewind really late. That's good to know. Oh, that's horrible. That is so bad. Okay, well, it's kind of tough when you rewind. It's much harder to get strats down. But yeah, I'm losing a lot of time from that as well. Probably going to be only up about 15 seconds if I had to guess of how bad that fail was. Oh, and I'm getting redded too. Oh my gosh, I'm alive. Oh, but I am bloopered, so I can't go for Nisk. That's kind of tough. I didn't really consider the blooper in this speedrun at first, but now I know. That's something you need to watch out for. Okay. You know what? Besides that one Nisk fail, the rest of that was pretty good. I'm only up 10, which kind of sucks, but I think I can make up a lot of it on Whistle Stop. This is one of my better tracks. And by the way, I had absolutely no expectations going into this. I was expecting a lot of mistakes. They're coming out in the middle of the speedrun, which is quite unfortunate, but, you know, it's... I guess it's not too bad that, you know, they're coming out here in the first run, because you probably need some really good luck to get world record as well. And, you know, so far, I've had decent luck, but I wouldn't say it's amazing, considering you have easy comms and, you know, blues and shocks have been reduced. Like, more towards the middle is where the luck started to wear off, I guess, from the beginning of it. We'll be going for these extra tricks, because I feel way more confident in these than a lot of other tracks. Now, that's not a good time loss, but it could have been worse. I want to be chaining as much as I can for feathers and coins. But as long as I don't make any huge mistakes, like in terms of this Nisk, for example, then I should be fine. And Red Rock, of course. I want to be making this when I can. Okay, blue shell's out. I don't think this dissipates, but it could. That'd be really hype if it did. Okay. I at least am not gonna have a horrible blue shell here. Oh, nice! I almost rewinded. I'm glad I waited just in case. That's a really big time save. That's like maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Oh, that sucks though. Okay, that wasn't too bad. What? I'm behind? Okay, mate, he probably fucked up on a split. at some point. Maybe it was here, he accidentally split or something, I don't know. Or maybe the early part was the missplit, I don't know. Maybe this whole thing is wacky because, you know, I rearranged a lot of things, but... Oh, that was close. I almost did not make that. Would have been a very bad mistake. Well... I'm not expecting too much out of PK Spaceport. I did actually time trial this. So maybe it'll pay off. Okay. Feather's not bad. I do want to get my coin out because I'm not super great at the feather cuts. Oh. So I don't mind too much if it gets ghosted. Okay, that was a good feather cut. I'm kind of surprised at myself. Unfortunately, I did go down here, but I would think that saves overall. But I don't think being down here loses much time to being on the rails, right? Now, I might lose time to side B here, but I might go back to, like, normal, what I was before. In terms of splits. But I don't know if Great Block was actually... That was probably the track where the missplit started or something. I don't even know. But anyways. Okay, yeah. It seems like something was missplit early on until I'm actually down this amount of time, which kind of sucks. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't expecting much. But I mean, the thing is, right, if I don't make that mistake on Shy Guy Bazaar, and I don't completely die on Desert Hills with the Nisk, I might be ahead. So that's comforting. Comforting to know. And maybe there's other time later on in this that I can make up. Like here, for example, maybe on Crown City, I'm decent. Never know. I'm hoping to pull a feather at some point because there are some feather cuts here on this track. I could have gone for Nisk there, but again, not really risking much. And I don't think that saves very much. Like, the Nisk probably saves... I don't know. Like... probably 0.3 or something? Compared to just going around like normal, so... maybe closer to 0.5 or 0.6, but it's not anything crazy. Like, there are definitely other tracks I'd rather work on in terms of getting hard shortcuts on before this one. Okay. Got the double coin. Wonderful. Now I'm hoping that I can actually get this feather off. That would be pretty incredible. Someone told me the other day there's a better feather shortcut I can be doing, so I might try and find out what that is. But for now, we're just going to be doing the way I do it. Okay. Turns out I don't need to be doing the feather cut the way I do it, because there's a shock. Oh, I forgot about the rain. Okay. Yeah, you can't do the Nisk in the rain. That's good to know. I just completely blanked out over it. Not going to risk an extra trick here, especially if I can get this. Wonderful. Okay, let's see. Am I doing decent here? Not really. Okay, we're bleeding time here. We're bleeding time, but it's fine. Maybe I can get it back on a track. Now, I could go for the Nisk at the start and first, but not only could the bots bump me out, but I also get coins here. Or like a coin item. And it's, you know, even though I lose coins overall, if I miss it, I'm just cooked. Please don't tell me they have it red. Oh my gosh, they do. Wow, that sucks. Okay, that's what happens in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe a lot. Is you get redded just like that at the start of races. I didn't think that was happening here, but apparently it is my lucky day. Okay, not bad. Yeah, we're gonna want to be looking for feathers here because there are multiple feather cuts on this track. I'll be going for Nisk, because why not? Okay, that was a really bad Nisk, but could be worse. I also get 2 extra coins. I'm gonna have to rewind here, I think. Okay, that's not too bad. Don't tell me there's multiple reds. Okay, good for now. I heard a red, but it wasn't going for me, luckily. Nice. Can I get the Snisk good? It could be better. Okay, so I'm gonna be really far behind. I just took a look at the splits because I was curious. I'm gonna be behind by like a full 20 seconds. Oh, that is really unlucky. Okay, well, my luck was really good early on into the run. I don't think that was why I was up so much, but it definitely was part of that time save. Now, though, I'm going to be really far behind because of what's been happening. And you know what? Since it's my first run, I'd rather it happen now than later on in runs when I'm grinding it down. So, that's A-okay. I think my goal here for the first run is going to be getting a sub 120. If I can somehow get that, that'd be lovely. I'm gonna go for this, because the coins are very good here. Oh my gosh. This is also one of those tracks where I probably could save this and not go for Superman, especially because I can get more coins, but I'm pretty confident in my Superman, so I think I'm gonna just go for him. Oh, it's also possible that Side B used a different combo than me. So, I might put on screen right now whether or not he did use a different combo. I didn't really check. And that might be why on some tracks, like Boo Cinema, for example, I believe his main is like Spike Baby Blooper. So on that track, for example, you want more road speed. And that might have helped him save time over me. Oh, I didn't realize Rewind makes the reds just die. That would actually help me out a ton. If I ever do get redded. I didn't think it worked on reds for some reason. I thought it only worked on blue shells, but that makes more sense. That is more ways to save time. I might just risk getting my coins up then, if I can just rewind out of a red, right? I'm curious if you're just invincible while you're rewinding. Or if rewinding is something else, and that's why you're not getting hit by blue shells. But I'll try rewinding for reds if they ever come for me from now on. I don't lose as much time. Invaluable money. Okay, well. This was a very peaceful race. Do I save time? I do. 1.5 seconds. That's not bad. We're on track still to be sub 120. In fact, it says the pace at the bottom. I didn't even realize that. Ooh, I could do the world record strat here for the coin at the start. But I don't think I need to because I can grab a box. I'm going to do this instead. That way I get my coins up this way. Oh! I right-clicked a little too late. That is not good. That is going to lose me like... Oh! And I forgot to rewind again for the red. Do I get a shroom? Oh, but imagine. Oh, guys. I'm glad this is my first run ever, because that would be embarrassing if it wasn't. If this was a world record run, I would hate myself. Also, I should have chained those stands, but it's okay. Well, I've learned a lot of things in this first run. That's the great thing. Oh, and I just trapped the rail where... Okay, that was a little silly. I wanted to back those earlier, to be fair to myself. Also, I keep forgetting I need to spam these to get my coins out. If I can go fast. We'll see if my coins are up, or my bananas are up there. On lap 3. I can check before I go on the rail, of course. Oh! Yeah, I'm losing like another 10 seconds or so on this. Turns out, the nanas were gone. Maybe I don't lose too much here. Maybe I don't lose too much. Also, Side B told me that he failed something really bad that lost like 15 seconds. So maybe that's why the splits were so weird at the start because he actually did lose that time. But it was on Faraway Oasis. So I'm kind of confused as to why that would show up early on in the run. But the thing is, his Great Block Ruins was last, I believe, or close to last. And so maybe that's why it showed up early in the run. So yeah, I lost 7.5 seconds on Wario Stadium. I wonder why. What could have possibly happened there on that race to make me lose that much time? But we're halfway through the speedrun officially, which is kind of crazy. Time flies by when you're speedrunning Mario Kart World. The great thing is I can spend my coin as much as I want here because there is a ton of boxes here just for me. Trying to get Feather more coins. Getting that boost panel is really nice. I'm also pretty decent at this track. So hopefully this is able to beat out... Nope, it doesn't beat out the Stomper. Okay. It's good to know you need to be really fast here in the speedruns to get that. Horn is great. Second Horn of Blue or multiple reds going for me. And at this point, I don't think I want to change for more coins. Horn's good enough to keep, in my opinion. Even though you could risk for more time save. That's fine. I didn't even lose me that much. Oh, you have this cycle to beat as well. Okay. That's interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of time save even just on this track alone. There's a Kamek coming as well. This could be bad. Oh, I am cooked. Okay, well I can Horn Boom him and the red. That's pretty dope. That is another reason to save your horns, by the way, is for Kameks. And not the greatest Toad's Factory, but it saves time. Okay, interesting. I don't know if I necessarily saved time on that track. It could, of course, be messed up because I think the pace is based off of what the actual split was. That could be the case. Now, do I go for Shrooms here? I definitely could, because the set is so close. I'm going to actually do it. So I want to see if I save time over his split. Triple Mushrooms, okay. This is the other track other than, what is it called? Other than Great Block Ruins where you'd want to bag at the start. Oh, DK launching all his greens at me. Okay, we're good. Maybe there's other tracks where you want to do this, though. Kind of curious. Now, I'll just be using this in the final cut, if there's no blue. That's another reason why the strategy is so good. If there's an early blue, you just dodge it. If there's not, well, you can take the final cut. That was just bad of me. Only lost, like, a second, I think. That's not the worst thing ever, but still pretty bad. Oh, that's another 0.5. Good thing is, it's first run. Proceed to forgive myself. Okay, could be worth it to bag, could not be worth it to bag. I might, in the next try, see if that is indeed worth it or not. This is another one of those tracks, though, that I could bag. I don't think or not bag, but go for Shrooms on. It also would have helped on Mario Circuit to get a star, for example, because that would have really helped. Because I would have saved a lot more time. So maybe I'll try that next time. Try and go for a star instead of just going for Shrooms. See if that saves any time. Probably would. For what I did. Also made a lot of driving errors, so yeah. Anyways, there's lots to experiment with in this speedrun since I'm brand new at it. But for now, we'll just continue doing what I think is best right now in this moment, and we can reflect later. The cow bounce is also something I would be willing to experiment with. Now, I'm trying to think, how do I do this feather cut? I kind of forgot. I mean, that's probably good enough. That definitely saves time. I haven't been getting too many feathers, I'd say. At least when I need them. Or on tracks where I need them. But, I mean, I haven't been getting horrible luck in terms of shocks and blues and stuff, so... Actually, I don't know how good my luck has been, to be honest. Because maybe shocks and blues are not super common in this game like they were in 8 Deluxe. Not too sure. Oh my gosh, that's a good launch from the shock. That basically didn't even affect me. That's pretty lucky. I'll take that. I also drove this pretty well. Not gonna lie. Okay. Surprise mole, but actually tamed that pretty well as well. Okay. Didn't lose too much. Again, no idea if side B is just... if these splits are correct and side B's actually, like, gaining on me here, or if it's based on the pace, right? So we'll pretty much figure out very quickly whether or not the next, like, couple runs I do, whether or not that's actually the case. How am I not first? That's interesting. Could have maybe pulled a shroom there. That would have been really good. I think those coins are worth it on this combo, by the way, because of the fact that I think the lighter characters, you want to get more coins, just in general. Now, turn skip, I am never going to be going for. I don't think anyone should ever be going for turn skip with the speed run unless they're just super consistent at it, because you risk so much time loss if you miss it and you're only getting like 0.3. This is the one track that I will say I am never, ever, unless there's somehow a consistent way to... That's tough. Unless there's somehow a consistent way to get turn skip in the future that nobody's thought of yet, then this is not one of those tracks that I will be risking to get time save. At least at that part. Maybe I do like this wall strat, for example. I keep forgetting to spam my coins. It's just free time save for me. Even though it's barely anything, it's still... Okay, well, I guess I'll hold this, because if there's a red or a blue or Kamek, I can recover a little bit. Do I get to do this? Okay, I don't think I would have been able to. Okay, we're just going around, not going for the disc. You know what? Having 20 coins here is actually really, really good. I might be able to save a lot of time. Over side B, we'll see. Okay, you know, I'm not going for that because I got a way too late charge jump. Now I don't need to spam my coins because I got coins galore. I will use this here though. Kind of speed me up from the turn. Hey, it looks like side B is actually not losing that much off of me. I might not even gain. What the heck? Thought this was a great split. It might be a great split, like I said. Not too sure if live split is properly working, but or properly showing up. But right now I'm not on an amazing pace. Like I'm on pace to get sub 120, but only barely. So I can't be making too many more mistakes. Now this is another one of those where I think bagging is actually the play. So I'm gonna try it. The shrooms just save so much time. Okay, nice. Got them. And I high rolled before them, so I didn't have to stop as long. Now here you don't really need a star, for example. Like, it's nice to have, obviously. You don't necessarily need it. Okay, we got another shroom. I could do a risky strat, which is, if you have 4 shrooms here, you can basically shroom over the chasm with 3 of your mushrooms, then use the last one in the final cut. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to save my mushrooms. I could also do the section 2... Is it section 2? Yeah, section 2 gap cuts, but I'm not very good at it. So it's not something I'm going to be risking, especially in my first run. Yeah, so if I had 4 shrooms here, in a later speedrun, I might try and go over the chasm. Oh, that's probably why you don't go for 4 shrooms at the start. Because that can happen sometimes, and I just lost probably like 5 seconds to that one ghost. That is quite unfortunate. Probably lost like 2 seconds overall, but I think if you get 4 shrooms at the start, it's probably worth it. Because you would be normally beating that coin cycle, I think. Unless it's like based on where you are in versus race and not based on the time. That could be possible, actually. I'm actually not gonna go for a box because even though I would get up to 20 coins, I'm gonna get up to 20 coins very shortly just by driving normally and tight. Like so. Feather would be nice to have on this track as well. You really, really do want the feather. Feather saves like a whole 2 seconds. It's actually kind of ridiculous. And that actually might even save more for that shroom gap feather cut, basically. Okay, feather... Do I want this? I don't know. I mean, I guess I can do a feather cut, but like... Again, it's kind of risky. I don't really know how to do it either. But I could try. No, I don't think I will. Let's just chain it, try and get a horn or something. Like, I know there's a feather... Ooh, okay. Not too shabby for a shock. And that's the first one, I think, so... There could definitely be 2 here on this track. That, I'd say, is, like, pretty decent luck that it comes this late in the race. Yeah, I was going to spam a coin if it came, but... I guess I pull a Nana this time. No idea if I'm going to be saving time here or not. I could go for the charge jump version of the shortcut, but again, just playing it safe. That's one of the easier shortcuts that saves, like, or easier versions of the shortcut that saves quite a bit of time. So, that is something that's on my radar for sure. I'm going to be losing a lot of time here, it looks like. Well, I'm officially, like, kind of out of it for sub 120, it kind of feels like, because I just keep bleeding time everywhere. Now, Koopa Troopa Beach is another one of those tracks where I could risk a lot, but the thing is, the Nisk doesn't even save that much time compared to just going around. So this is probably not one of those tracks where I want to be risking a ton. I could risk it on, like, lap 1, because I'm getting a double. I need those coins, but I don't know. I feel like it's not too bad to just go around. Probably okay to just drive this track very normal and collect coins to get your speed up that way instead of trying to risk for shortcuts. I got Daisy. Get owned. And I wonder if going for those coins wide is worth it. I don't think they are, but could be wrong. Oh, feather's really nice. I will be going for a feather cut later on. I think do I go for set here? Probably not, no. Oh, I thought I could get the trick off that. That didn't save too much time, but it probably saved, I don't know, like 0.3 or something. So it's not nothing. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And I, like, take this a lot better. Okay, wasn't the worst. 2 feathers, though, on Koopa Troopa Beach is not bad. Lapping CPUs and everything. And I don't even gain anything! Wow. Okay. There must be some strats that I'm missing. I might be looking at that soon. Maybe there's some menuing strats that I'm not familiar with. Maybe there's, I don't know. Just, like, something I'm not on top of, you know? Something I'm missing. It seems like so far I'm losing just a lot of time overall. Since that's not super risky, I'm gonna go for that. Because going around's not super great, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't spam that, actually. Oh, maybe. It's probably not too bad. Maybe that's what it is, though, is I'm not spamming enough coins. And they're, like, getting up to top speed immediately. I might try and do that next run, actually. Just, like, spamming every single coin I get. Not even worrying about double boxes. I mean, at the same time, though, if you want to get, like, a feather, for example, or a horn, you just have to get very lucky instead of trying to get it the conventional way. Okay, maybe I should have not done that in the shortcut. I thought that would save more time than it actually did. Let's see, do I save time here? I might. I do, I think. Okay. Maybe Side B's not doing it, and I've only just realized. Although that's probably not the case. He probably has realized, and maybe there was a shock or a blue. That's probably what actually happened. Okay, Faraway Oasis was the track that he told me he made a 15-second mistake on. He failed the feather cut at the end of the track. So, we'll see if this split is indeed correct, because if I don't lose any time from Faraway, or if I don't gain any time from Faraway Oasis, this probably means that I am most certainly just, you know, something's messed up with Live Split, and I'm not doing anything wrong, I guess. Now, of course, if I make a 15-second mistake, and I somehow don't lose time, that would be another example of the split actually working. But I'll be keeping this because it's good for the green cut. That's the only real reason. Nice. This might be one of my stronger tracks in the speedrun because I know how to do all the extra little cuts. Now, I'm going to try and chain for a feather, because that saves obviously a lot of time compared to just a green. And I have 4 different item boxes to get it. That wasn't too bad, actually, even though it looked kind of bad. I have to go tight box, though, unfortunately. I didn't even need to place that middle, but that's pretty funny. That'll block a potential red. It did not block the red. Good to know. I don't even know how that didn't hit the Nana. That was weird. Okay, I'm at 20 coins, which is lovely. That was a really good Nisk. Okay. And I have a green for the green cut here at the end. Oh, okay. Well, that's not ideal. Getting TS there is pretty bad. Oh, I don't know if the splits are correct. I mean, I only saved 2 seconds. It's possible everything else went perfectly for Side B in that race, and I only gained the 2. I feel like I should have gained more. You know? Good thing is we're back on pace to get sub 120. At least I think I am. I'm not going to go for the Nisk in this run, by the way. But this is one of those tracks that's first on my list in terms of things I risk. And you might be saying, like, oh, you might as well practice these hard strats, right? Especially in your first run, but again, I want to see what kind of baseline I have for these, for these tracks. And I know how many mistakes I'm making, but like I would realize, oh, I make a mistake here on Salty Speedway. I don't make the Nisk. But I don't want to have too many of those pile up, right? So that's why I'm playing safe in this first run. I forgot to spam my coin, but that's okay. Another green for the green cut, but I might just use this to try and get a feather. Might as well. There's a lot of good items here, too. Like a horn, for example. Not gonna lie, I thought I was getting greened, but... Oh, I didn't see the blue. Oh, that rewinded me a ton. Well... That's not ideal. I think I'm probably losing time here. We'll see. I should have chained that. I don't know why I didn't. Okay, we got green for the green cut. Not too shabby. Let's make it this time. Okay, wow. Even though I'm not risking anything on Salty, I made lots and lots of mistakes. And I'm still gaining time. Well, I might have split late, but yeah. The point stands. There's a lot of time to be saved there. Okay, well. Next up, my favorite, Peach Beach. So yeah, I think the 3 tracks I want to go for shrooms on are Rainbow Road, Great Block Ruins, and maybe Cheap Cheap Falls. Just kidding. Probably not Cheap Cheap Falls, but maybe Mario Circuit. The set is so early. Those are the 3 tracks that I think I want to go for shrooms on. Otherwise, I think it's possible that every other track you want to just full-on run. You definitely want to do that on Peach Beach. There's not a lot of shortcuts here. Oh, that was bad. That's okay. And the thing is, on Rainbow Road, you might want to run too. Because getting your coins up... Ooh, okay, that's tough. But getting your coins up early is probably a really good thing on that track. But the shrooms do save a lot of time. So, I don't know. I think I'll still go for the shrooms on Rainbow Road to see if it actually does anything this time. Or the next time. And we'll see. See what discoveries I make in my second run. Yeah, this is another track where I could go for the Nisk here. And honestly, I could have just done it there, but again, we're looking for a baseline. Not risking too much. Trying to see if I can make as little mistakes as possible. Okay, I think I'm going to be down 40 or so. Yep, 41. That might have been because of the combo, though. I did get a coin block, though. I don't know. I did get Terrakion as well, so that might have been part of it. Now, this is one of those tracks where I think I can save time over side B, because I'm not too sure if the Nisk was a thing when he did a speedrun. So, and if it was probably early on in its, what do you call it? In its revolution, I guess. So it's very possible I can save, like, upwards of 3 seconds or 4 seconds here. Maybe even more. Also just a track I'm really good at in general. Okay, that's really good. I will take that. I'll never say no to blue protection. You know what? It also protects me from reds. I don't have to rewind. I wonder if it's worth it to rewind on reds, actually. Now that I think about it, it seems like rewinding does lose a lot of time. So maybe rewinding for reds is not necessarily ideal. Let's see what other people are doing with that, because I really haven't watched other people's runs. Okay, good cancel on the Hammock there. Also, I should just spam my coin, but that's okay. They're playing it super duper safe, obviously. That is the whole point. Wow, I'm gonna be almost behind if I were to finish right there. But, I mean, I guess I was ahead 8 seconds going to that. And maybe I gained time here. The lap of Warrior Shepherd is about 48 seconds. So we might gain like 2 or 3 seconds. That was pretty bad. That might have lost me the time save, but hopefully not. No feathers, but no blues. And hopefully no shocks. Very nice. Okay, only 0.3 time gain. But that's still decent. Yeah, it's gonna be very close to sub 120. Very, very close. Spam the coins. If there's anything I've learned, it is to spam the coins. In the speed run. We're spamming the coins. I'm gonna get up to 20 pretty soon. I'm gonna get it on lap 1, actually. And I'm very confident in this strat enough to go for it. Save an extra 0.3 or so. This is as good as it gets on Sky High Sunday, I would say, so far. Now, side B is very fast, so if I don't gain on the split, would not be surprised. Oh, that's a rough shock. That's a slow glider, wow. Yeah, our luck has been very rough after the first couple races, I would say. But, feather's decent. Probably saved a little bit. That went really high. Probably because I have 20 coins, but still. Did that save any time? Doesn't lose much. I'll take it. Alright, so there's only 3 tracks remaining until the end of the speedrun. So, if you catch my drift, basically what I'm trying to tell you guys is this is almost the end of Phase 1. Now, Phase 2, I don't know how I'm going to edit Phase 2 or show Phase 2. But, I mean, for now, what I'm thinking is I just never show a full run of Phase 2, and I just show what I've discovered. Oh, that's an early blue. Huh. Well, that's not ideal. That was a decent rewind. Again, I should be spamming this coin, so I will do that now. Get me out of the snow faster. Just gonna go fast here, not go for items. Even though I could try and roll for a feather, for example. Oh, my drift did not go through the off-road there. Interesting. Feather! No! That was just terrible. Oh, that was bad too. Well. Also forgot to spam my coin again. Oops. Yeah, this is gonna be quite a bit behind now. And... okay. Well. 2 more to go, and I gotta say... Sub 120 is gonna be very close. Very, very close. Oh, and I forgot where I'm going! Lost like half a second menuing there. That's pretty funny. Now, Dandelion Depths is one of those tracks that could be triple shoomsable, you know, from the start. I'm actually gonna try it. If there's any time to try things, it's now. Nice. Feels like I very consistently get triple shrooms when stopping there. Which is pretty epic. The only problem is I'm not going to get any coins, but there are a lot to go around on this track. I think I'd rather have the shrooms, for sure. I got 4 of them, so I can even recover from a hit. Which is just lovely. I don't know if this is any fast, but it looks kind of good. I don't know. I could also just use one of my last shrooms at, like, this hole cut thing here. But, yeah. I was going to say I want to protect from a ghost. I don't want to do that just yet. Crazy how my triple shrooms have been ghosted 2 out of the 4 times that I've had them. Okay, that was definitely worth it. I think. Because if you get hit in the water, it's really bad, right? I wonder if are you immune to ghosts when you're rewinding? Are you invincible all the way around? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this would be faster. Especially if you kept all the shrooms. Oh, there's a blue. Doesn't look like it would be, based on what I'm seeing from the splits, but it's possible. Nice. Okay. We're gonna save a little bit of time over what could have happened here. Which is very cool. Ooh, it's close. It's close if this would save time or not. If I take the final shroom cut, it would be like right around here. Oh, that doesn't look like it saves time. Okay, good to know. Just go for coins next time, I guess. I mean, of course I had to rewind for the reds, but like... I don't think Side B's run was perfect. Like, I don't think there was nothing that happened to him there. Chi Falls is another one I considered doing a Shrooms variant, but I don't think so. I think like Rainbow Road would be the line. Maybe even Mario Circuit is too far for going for what do you call it? For going for Shrooms. Like, I don't know if I want to go for Shrooms on Mario Circuit or not. Like, if I go for Shrooms, I probably have to go for a star, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Let's get a perfect run here on Sheep. This new NIST, by the way, is going to save a lot of time over side B because I am pretty good at it, and it did not exist when side B's run was a thing. I can tell you that much for sure. I probably will save a little bit of time on Sheep Falls as long as I don't fail really badly. Now, if there's a shock, I probably don't get the sub 120 here, but... Oh, that was actually not even that bad. But everything else, I think I would be fine. Oh, yeah, that's a brutal shock. I don't know if I get the sub 120 anymore. It's gonna be close. Come on. Give it to me. Okay, that was a really good last Nisk. Oh, barely not enough. 120.01. Well, I gotta say, overall, there's a lot of things I learned. For one, I think you want to rewind for reds and blues if they're hitting you. At least for the most part. Maybe not reds if you're like on a boost panel. For example, like that would be a bad time to rewind. Probably loses too much. Even though you would keep the coins. Probably is just situational. Most of the time though, probably want to indeed use your rewind button to its fullest effect. And then, I don't know what this time save came from at the start. It could have just been I don't know, a really bad track. I did lose a lot. Not on Whistle Stop. So, I don't know where that 20-second gap came from. But, I mean, other than that, I'd say the run was decently solid. I made plenty of mistakes. Shy Guy Bazaar was a great example. Desert Hills as well. That makes sense why I lose 10 seconds, but Whistle Stop just baffles me still. Other than that, pretty solid for a start. I'm only just over a minute off of world record, and I feel like there's well over a minute of mistakes. Let's get on with phase 2. So after my first attempt, I am already 14th in the world, just behind top player Mochizi and the best Mario Kart time trialer of all time, Logan. So I'm already in great company. But of course, I didn't stop there, and got a 1:19.42 soon after, with the same route. This put me at 8th on the leaderboards, just ahead of Xander, one of the top 3 greatest Mario Kart Wii players ever, and has been great in every Mario Kart game he's played in. But I wanted more. So I kept trying, but I started to hit a huge wall. What? It felt like no matter how lucky I could possibly get, I was never going to get even close to a world record. I thought my driving nor my strategy at the time was an issue, but I had noticed something strange during my attempts. Whenever I'd start a run, sometimes my load time would be 15 seconds before the countdown started, and sometimes it would be 12, a 3-second time loss. I couldn't figure out why this was happening. I would spam the A button just like you have to during the results screen, but that seemed to not matter one bit. So I hit up my Team USA teammate and the current second place in the world for this exact speedrun, Side B, and asked him what he did in between races to see if I could reduce the loading times. He was also the same guy that lent me his splits in my first run, so thank you Side B for that. Anyways, he tells me he doesn't do anything special and asks me what character I'm using, which I thought was a strange question. This was when I found out I had been using the most optimal character, and completely by accident. Apparently there are different victory animation timings for each character in Mario Kart World, and my main, Goomba, just so happened to be the second fastest out of all the 7 best meta characters you see highlighted here, and the best in the weight class I was using. So that was somewhat a relief. And just 10 minutes after this conversation,
I had a huge epiphany. When I got done with a run only after 4 tracks, I went to restart and found out that I got 15 seconds of load time again. And that's when I realized I discovered that if you had to move your cursor to another track to start your run, you would lose 3 seconds of load time. And that got me thinking, were there other tracks' load times losing over the run as well? And when I went to Starview Peak for the second track right after Great Question Block Ruins, I had 15 seconds of load time again. And so I tested more and more tracks and found out my route was losing over 15 seconds over the course of the run compared to Loberia's route, which brought me another dilemma. It felt somewhat random what load times were for each track, but what I noticed was the more you had to travel in the menu, the more likely you had huge time losses in load time. So what route should I take now? I still want to start with Great Question Block Ruins, but if I have a run killer late into my run like Starview Peak, I was never going to get any runs going. So I first tried to head over to Starview Peak as soon as possible. This route made Starview Peak the 7th track, and I tried many different strategies once I got to Starview Peak, but none of them seemed to yield any results that I wanted. So I created a brand new route, start to finish, beginning with Starview Peak, just like the world record. This is what I came up with. I figured if I was getting 6 mushrooms and stopping at the first item set regardless on Great Block Ruins, I might as well not care whether Great Question Block was late or early in the speedrun. This does mean I have to deal with the RNG of shocks, ghosts, and red shells ruining my day on that track, but I could live with that. And by the way, I did test whether running, getting 3 shrooms, and getting 6 shrooms was the best strategy, and 6 mushrooms was by far the best and by a lot. The perfect run for 6 mushrooms was the fastest, and it was way more adept at dealing with bad luck. Now, here's where I'd like to give a breakdown for the overall strategy for the speedrun, and give you guys a good idea as to what I'll be doing for every single track. Let's just use Starview Peak as the first example, as this track is the most complex by far. At the start, I can get an item box in a spot anywhere from 1st to 8th place, which means I can pull these items. And this is just a lot to take in initially from the first item set, so let me break down the items into 5 different categories. The useless items, this is the single and triple protection items. I am always chaining these at the next item set to try and pull better items. And we got the coin items, coin block and coin, which I will spam immediately to try and get my top speed up as soon as possible. I do this for basically every single track if I happen to pull a coin at the first item set. Now we have the feather, which on Starview Peak I hold for this snow shortcut and take it just like this. This actually loses time to doing the shroomless version of the shortcut, but it's infinitely easier and way less risky. Then we got the speed items, the ghost, star, single, and triple mushrooms. If I get any of these, I use them in the big snow shortcut along with chaining them to try and pull more feathers and coins. Unless of course I pull triple mushrooms, in which case I try to use all 3 mushrooms in this shortcut every lap. If I do have an item that can take the version of the big snow shortcut, then I just do that. Otherwise, I risk the incredibly difficult no item shortcut, or NISC for short, which you may have seen me use that term already in my first run. And if I happen to get a time under 2 minutes 38 seconds for this split, I continue the run. Otherwise, I reset. For the rest of the speedrun, I am just trying to capitalize on my items while driving as quickly as possible, but not necessarily the world record time trial lines. Some shortcuts and strats are just way too risky to go for over this 80-minute run that going for them would be a huge mistake in most cases. However, there are some item-only driving lines that I will be taking instead of the normal fast time trial lines. Take Wario Stadium, for example, where I showed in my first run that going for this item, potentially get a coin item, is much better than just driving fast, for the potential time save it would provide over the course of the run. I don't go for this on lap 2 and 3, since at that point, the time trial line saves enough time compared to the item box line, and getting a coin at that point in the race wouldn't give you enough value. There's also Choco Mountain, where I go wide at the last item set to get a double instead of taking the rail, which is much faster normally. This is because I want to give myself the best chance at coins, horns, and a feather. Horns, of course, for the blue shells, coins to up my speed, and feathers to take this huge feather shortcut at the start of the lap, which is a huge time saver. However, since on lap 3 you can't take this feather cut anymore, I do go tight onto this rail to save time. Also, just as a general strategy, if there's a track where the feather is super valuable, I like to hold my coin for a single item box to see what item I get first in case it is a feather. But if feathers are not helpful, I like to spam my coin straight away. This is to play around the ghost item. Now you might think, okay, what about super horns? Don't you want to protect your super horn as well? Well, super horns in this game cannot get ghosted. So I want to protect my feathers if they are good on certain tracks where time save is there to be had. Otherwise, I want to get more speed to save as much time as possible that way. There's many more decisions just like these on every single track in Mario Kart World, and that's what makes this speedrun so interesting to me. But now we begin the grind. With this new route, I did find myself getting more runs deep. And the funniest thing is that I got 2 runs of exactly 119.46.4, which is only 4 seconds off my PB, and none of these runs were that good. Then I had this incredible pace heading into Rainbow Road, the 5th to last track, and with plenty of time on the board, disaster struck. And I somehow managed to not even beat my PB from this route. But it wouldn't be long when I found myself on an even greater pace that had a chance to shatter my personal best. Let's take a look. So first we're going to be taking a look at Wario Shipyard, which we're almost halfway through the run at this point, and I'm up 18 seconds, essentially. Which, if you look at the bottom of those splits, it says my current pace, the 119.28. And at the time, I was thinking, there's so much time saved left in this run. I just knew my other run was so bad, or I guess my PB on these splits. It wasn't my actual PB, but my PB on these splits, this route specifically, was so bad that I thought there is 0 chance that I will not be saving time at all in the rest of this run. So the plan here is just to play as well as I can, let the luck come to me, and so far it's so good. I mean, I had already pulled a coin block, and for this track, it's pretty good because if you think about it, this track is 2 minutes and 20 seconds long in time trials, basically. And if you get your coins up early on, that just means you're taking advantage of your top speed increasing for more of a track. If this was like Mario Circuit and I got a coin block, sure it'd be good, but it wouldn't be nearly as good as on this track because you're capitalizing more off the top speed with more of the race that goes on. Point is, I'm at 20 coins now, and as long as there's nothing bad that happens to me for the rest of this race, I am absolutely going to be saving a ton on this split because Wario Shipyard, usually a lot goes wrong. In fact, I was looking back to see, am I getting triple redded here? Because usually that's what happens, is you get triple redded, there's like a blue and a shock, that's really bad usually. Then I pulled a feather, I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I can feather in the shortcut and be totally fine, but there's a red coming, and I think it dissipated, but I timed the feather to cover the red shell anyways, and that was really nice because it was actually a feather cut that I had not really experienced before. I had not done something like that, and I thought about it a little bit later, and I was like, actually, that's probably the best feather cut to use because the one at the beginning is not very fast, doesn't save that much time, and the one in the sand cut, sure, it saves a little bit, but if you do the NISC perfectly, it probably is better to do that than use a feather there. So I was like, oh, that's really cool that I just accidentally happened to stumble upon that, as well as the fact that I just saved 5 seconds on that split. And so we skip ahead to now we're past Peach Stadium where I'm almost up 30 seconds. Those other couple of golds, those were incredible golds. Like Cheep Cheep Falls wasn't that great. Salty Speedway, I think I played decently well, but it wasn't like I got a couple feathers or like horns or anything, so there's definitely some improvement there, and I think I even had to rewind for a blue shell at some point. So both of those tracks with those golds still had improvement beyond that, and Peach Stadium also saved a little bit of time. So being on Choco Mountain, this is another one of those tracks just like Wario Shipyard, a very long track. This one you often get redded even more than on Wario Shipyard because of the fact you only really go for one set per lap. You skip this set on laps 2 and 3, and you also skip the middle set on laps 2 and 3 because you're doing what's called the Superman. You might have seen it on lap 1, but you drift into this little diagonal ramp thing, and then you charge jump into that coin on the ramp, and you go flying, and you end up saving almost a second, especially if you get the trick afterwards. And here I'm trying to pull a feather. Had no luck there, but it's fine that I didn't pull a feather, because if I did, I would have had to use it and lose a ton of time. In fact, I've even rewinded there before because this feather saves so much, and the fact that the feather loses a lot if you use it over those ramps because you just go flying. And I done a disc there that wasn't great. It probably lost me like 0.5. Not a big deal though. Now we're up to 20 coins. We just gotta make this final Superman and get the trick after. And perfect. And I'm almost footballed. But it was barely... Goomba was just barely able to scrape by, and it was so close that it honestly gave me a little bit of a heart attack. That would have lost me legitimately somewhere in the range of like 3.5 to 5 seconds, because the football is the worst thing you can get hit by in this game. Worse than a blue shell, worse than a red shell, and of course I would have never rewinded for it either, so I would have actually gotten hit by it. But luckily for me, I just managed to graze by my head, and I save another 5 seconds, just like on Warrior Shipyard. And so at this point, I looked at my current pace, and I was really, really sweating, because now I knew I had a chance to be second in the world, and maybe even have a chance at world record, because of the fact that if everything goes well, I have at least 30 seconds more of time save from the rest of these tracks, because I just hadn't gotten to this point, and I hadn't gotten many runs deep in the previous route either. So with this feather, I was like, oh my gosh, there's absolutely no shot that this is going to go this well. I'm getting such incredible luck right now, and the only thing that could really ruin it, it seems, is if I make horrible mistakes, or there's just a wave of bad luck that comes later on. And that feather cut does save a lot of time. There is unfortunately a shock, but it's not too bad. So I get onto this rail, and what do we get here? I get not another feather, but a green shell. I didn't go for the edge tricks here because it's raining, and the edge tricks in the rain are much, much harder to get. And here, what do I get? I late chain, so I'm not seeing my item. Is it a feather? Nope, it's just a nana. But I decide, you know what? I'm kind of feeling myself right now. Let's go for this Nisk. And so, I block the red, make the Nisk, and dodge the next two reds going for me, so I don't have to rewind. And if I had to rewind there at all, like if I wasn't confident I would make it to the shortcut in time, I would have had to rewind. I wouldn't have been able to go for the Nisk. That would have lost me like 5 seconds. But instead, I'm now up to 20 coins. I made the Nisk, of course. And more importantly, there's no shock and no blue. So this just seems like a perfect Mario circuit. And I'm wondering, am I up like 40 seconds here? Or am I crazy? And it turns out I'm up 37.2. So not quite 40. But I'm officially on pace to beat Side B's time of a 1:19.10, which I had absolutely no clue when I was going to get close to doing this. We fast forward ahead to Crown City, where we have about the same time save, just up another 0.6. And here, this track, just like with Warrior Shipyard, just like with Choco Mountain, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but those two tracks, they've gone pretty much perfectly so far. So I thought, you know, it's going well so far. I just pulled 2 coins in a row. That's 4 extra coins for me. Can I pull another one? There you go. And I was just like, what could possibly go wrong at this point to make me lose any time? Because my Crown City split here and my personal best, it was good, but it wasn't like amazing or anything. And I got ghosted. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I was going to chain that Nana anyways. I'm at 13 coins. I'm going to be up to 16 very soon. And dodged the Hammer Bro, which normally I would take that line, but somehow managed to notice that in time. And here, there's red, and there's another red, but I'm able to block it. And then there's another one. But I'm like, it's fine. It's just 1 red. Nope, there's 3 more. There's 3 more! And I have to rewind there because even though I would normally take it because I'm on a boost panel there, I would have gotten redded off the track if I let it hit me. So that was just an absolute disaster. Luckily for me, I'm on 20 coins, so it's not the end of the world, but it's like just, it seems like unnecessary time lost there. I mean, how in the world is there 6 reds going for me? It feels like at most there should be 4, right? And I would have only had to rewind once if that was the case. But now, I'm just hoping there's no bad shock, no bad blue. And here I go for the tree strat, which I didn't think I was getting, but luckily I got it last second, so I didn't really go for the charge jump knowing or thinking that I was not going to make it. And here I just got to go for the Nist. The ghost is kind of blocking what I could see there, and I ended up not making it. And there's a ghost red, and then I back up, and it turns out, I didn't know this at the time, but if you get hit by something and then rewind, you don't have any speed. And I had no idea about this. I mean, I was still relatively new to speedrunning at this point, so I didn't think that was a thing. And that lost me another like 3 or so seconds because I was stuck in the off-road too. So yeah, and then I bounced on a car too, which loses me another second, and then I missed a trick, which loses another like 0.3. And now I lost 10 seconds on my split from Crown City. That probably in total lost me somewhere between 15 and 17 seconds. So that was just an absolute disaster. And now I was thinking, everything has to go literally perfectly for me to get a time that beats side B, and there's 0 chance at this point that I can even beat the world record, which, you know, I thought maybe, you know, after Mario Bros. Circuit that was possible. Definitely not anymore. But that's okay. I was never expecting to get a run with this pace this early on into my speedrunning journey, so yeah, now we're on Koopa Troopa Beach. Well, there's a lot that can go wrong on this track, despite the fact that it's so short. You'd think on the longer tracks, things are more likely to go wrong, but on Koopa Troopa Beach as well, there's so many times that I've gotten shocked and blued, just because of the fact that there's so many sets, because there's 5 laps in the race. But I got another coin block. So, now, I'm cruising with 20 coins, and it's just like, how have I had this good of luck, but also Crown City has happened? Like, I don't get what's going on. And yeah, now I'm just hoping for a feather at this point. Horn would do as well, just because, you know, blues are super common. But it doesn't seem like there's a blue coming, and it's lap 5 already. So now I'm really hoping for a feather, and I do not get one. But that's okay. I mean, at this point in the race, as long as I don't get hit, this is going to be a really good split on Koopa Troopa Beach. And it turns out I golded it. Yep. Now I'm up 35 seconds again, and here I once again have hope. I wasn't too sure what my Koopa Troopa Beach split was like, but it turns out it wasn't that good. So we skip ahead to Faraway Oasis now, where there is... this one has huge variance. It's just... this track can go one of 2 ways. You can get shocked in really bad spots, you can get blued in really bad spots, or you can have none of those happen, and you can pull feathers for the ending cut. Or you can get a combination of a bunch of those things. Point is, there are so many good and bad things that can happen on this track. It's like, it's got basically as much variance as like Rainbow Road, for example. Which, considering this is not even half the length of Rainbow Road, it is quite crazy how much your luck can determine how fast you are here. And I got a coin block already, which is going to send me into great top speed straight away. And I'm already going to be at 20 at the beginning of lap 2. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be another perfect run, isn't it? I mean, it seems like I can do no wrong, and I get a feather as well, and I make the Nisk, and everything seems to be so good right now. And all I'm thinking is, I just need to make this feather cut. And honestly, since I was thinking so hard about that feather cut, I forgot I probably shouldn't be chaining there, because this exposes Need to a ghost, and luckily I don't get ghosted and punished for that. If I got ghosted right before that cut, I'd probably lose like 10 seconds, not even controlling. That would have been really bad. Luckily, I don't get punished for using my coin at a terrible spot. But now I have a chance at getting another one. If I get another feather here, this is going to save, no joke, 5 to 10 seconds. So, I get a green shell. This is also pretty decent, but I was feeling myself. I wanted the feather. I thought also horn could be pretty good here. Pull another green, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll just do the green cut. Oh, and I'm TS'd off the track. And it turns out, just like with reds, shocks don't let you go back to top speed. So that was another lesson learned in this speed run that I didn't know anything about. I probably should have inferred that that was the case. And I probably lost about 7 seconds or so just to that shock because I rewinded twice. Was not good. Was not good at all. And I ended up losing 5 seconds on that split. Not ideal. Great block runes though. This is where things can go, again, really great, just like Faraway Oasis, or really terrible. And my strategy here is very high risk, high reward. It's usually not super high risk, but definitely high reward because I go for 6 shrooms here at the start of the race and say, well, as long as the CPs don't hit me here, I'm in a fantastic spot to take literally every single shortcut on the track. And I actually forgot to go for coins here because I had never put this track so deep into a run before, and I had just, it had escaped my mind. I'd done this, not necessarily this late, but I had done it not first, which is what you guys saw for the previous 2 runs. And yeah, I ended up getting ghosted, which, you know, it's just only one less shortcut that I get to take. The ending shortcut is what I'm going to choose not to do on lap 2. Or, sorry, on lap 3. I'm going to choose to just shroom up in this shortcut on lap 2, and then the first cut on lap 3. And as long as no blue shell comes, no shock, or no ghost, I am basically going to be saving time on this track because this great block, I didn't remember how good it was, but I knew it wasn't perfect. So I knew as long as I got to take this cut, I'm probably saving time. And there's no shock, no ghost. And I make the cut. It's perfect. Now I just gotta hope that there's no shock here at the very end because the blue is not reaching me. And I'm just spamming my coins because, like I said, no reds are gonna reach. No blue shells. There's no point in holding a coin. There's also not another set coming, so let's see. I'm going for box cut. A little bit risky, but might as well save the time where I can. And I didn't get a perfect box cut, but still probably better than going around. As long, well, at this point, even if there's a shock, it's not going to lose that much time. So I end up being almost up 32 seconds going into the final race. And here I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was saving time here with the fact that I got ghosted. And I saw the pace at the bottom. It was a 1:19.14. And I completely forgot how good my Peach Beach was. So I thought, can I get second? Well, can I beat Side B with his 1:19.10? Is that possible? I don't know. But I'm going to try my hardest. And I got a coin straight off the bat, which is perfect. I mean, that's the most you can ask for. Of course, you can get coin block, but that's really, really lucky. And now I'm hoping for a feather or a horn. You can't pull a horn from that set, but you can pull a feather for sure. And I guess this is really the only item box where you can pull a horn, but the luck has been on my side so far, so we'll see. Do I get it and secure me beating Side B? Because that horn cut saves a ton of time. And nope, not this time. And I was just staring at the top left of my screen to see if I get the horn, so I wasn't really paying attention to my driving line. Probably lost, like, I don't know, a third of a second. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was kind of silly that I was failing that. I got a horn, which, you know, it's not bad. It protects me from a blue. Could protect me from multiple reds. And also, I can take the box shortcut here. I don't have to go for the Nisk, which was especially good for me because right here there's a blooper. And you might think, okay, big deal, it's a blooper. You can still drive normally in a blooper, especially if you're charge jumping. But I literally cannot see. In fact, I thought I was gonna miss the boxes here, but luckily I noticed just in time where they were. And here, I'm staring at my timer right after this turn, and I'm like, ooh, 10 seconds? Do I have 10 seconds left in the race? I don't know. It seems pretty close. 5, 4, 3... Yeah, at this point, I knew I was not making it to the line in time. But I end up with a 1:19.15, which was incredible. I thought there was no way I was going to beat this anytime soon. And you'll just have to see in the rest of my journey because the video is not over. This was originally going to be the final run in the video. However, once I started doing some editing for this video, I noticed one small little problem. I wanted to include my reaction to getting this huge personal best live, and have this run as the final thing I show you guys in the video. But what I didn't know at the time was I somehow accidentally turned on my voice changer on OBS. So I just sound hella goofy for my reaction. Here's a little glimpse of what I said at the time.
Wow, what a run. This will be hard to beat. I'm actually 3rd worldwide. Okay. So this might be the final run you guys see in the video. This was a blast to try and grind down, and I will continue to do so during the subathon.
So I decided this was not it. I wanted one more PB. But as you can probably imagine, beating a personal best that has 30 seconds of time save over your old PB was going to be essentially impossible to beat. I'd gotten so many runs deep so many times past this point to where I was changing my route every day just to reset how I thought about the run and my splits. Eventually, I settled on this route, where I finally got a ton of runs deep that were promising, so I decided this was going to be my final route, no matter what. And I'm kinda glad I stuck to it, because my perseverance would get me on world record pace, with plenty of time save left in the run. Here's how it went.
Huh? It is I, Swoop the Goob. Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
So now, I'm gonna start a little bit earlier in the run. And as you can hear, there's actual game audio this time. Good job me for not putting on the voice changer. But yeah, my box gets stolen straight away, which is not the ideal thing. You might hear me interrupt a couple times in the live commentary, but I'll basically leave off at a certain point, and you guys will follow along with my live commentary, because for most of these runs, I do not talk because I'm purely focused, especially at the beginning, because I really need a good start to actually get something going, because later on in the run there's not as much time save as you might think because of how good this initial PB was. But yeah, since I got a coin block pretty early, I was able to get my coins up, and now I'm fast for basically the rest of the race. I decided to hold my coin here for a little bit because I like to actually have less coins for this Nisk, which is pretty difficult to make on 15. We'll see. Do I make it? Perfect. And now I have a horn, which, as you guys know, cannot get ghosted. And that's really nice. I'm going to be at max coins at some point, I think. Or maybe I'm going to be at 19. But the point is here, I'm going to have to take it a little bit differently on lap 3. And it's like 50-50 as to whether or not I make it. But I don't want to take it any other way because it loses so much time otherwise. And that's why I like having Acorn Heights kind of early, because the Nisk can be finicky sometimes, and you lose a lot of time if you do not end up making it properly. So we'll see. I end up not tricking, which is the way you're supposed to do it, and I don't get a tilt. If you tilt up there, you lose like literally 2 seconds, not even trolling. 2 seconds is a lot, especially at the beginning. And there's nothing that hits me. No shock, no blue, no reds. So I ended up getting a gold, which I was very surprised about at the time, but I was like, okay, it's my 0.3, big whoop. But yeah, if you want to take a look at my sum of best at the bottom there, it is 117.43, which is
more than a minute faster than world record, which is a 1:18:54. And I haven't gotten my best on some tracks. So yeah, you can hear me interrupt a little bit there. Feather's really good on this track. You want feathers and horns, because feathers and horns let you take the shortcuts. Now, I do decide to hold this feather for the first shortcut instead of the ending cut, just because I think it's a little bit better to use that at the first cut. It saves a little bit more time, and it's a lot less risky, even though there's not that much risk, but I want to be able to take this Nisk free, and then I end up getting ghosted literally half second away from when I was going to be using it. And if it gets ghosted any earlier, I don't lose that much time, because I don't hit any of the off-road. And so I'm really mad. Like, this is the best start I've had in almost a week, and it's just ruined by a ghost. But I get another feather, so I'm like, okay, whatever, who cares? This will make up for it if I'm able to feather. I just need there not to be a blue shell. And there hasn't been a blue shell, so now I just need there not to be a shock. And guess what decides to happen? A shock.
Like, come on.
So I am not happy. I am not happy one bit. And I don't even pull a coin to get my coins back up. And then there's a target Kamek. It wasn't that bad. But where the Goombas are placed are horrible. So, yeah.
So annoying, man. I can't believe this
I just lost, like,
me.
probably 10 seconds here. No joke. Do get a feather, though, for the end. I mean, that can save a little bit. I accidentally spammed my coin. I didn't think I'd get another feather with how bad luck has not been on my side here. And I saw the blue, and I thought for sure I was getting blued. But it turns out it went around.
Thank goodness.
So I didn't lose another 3 seconds, let's just say. But yeah, this was very frustrating, this race. And I could have been up, like, instead of 5 seconds, I could have been up 10. But, you know, that's just gonna happen sometimes. Whistle Stop Summit, though. This one is basically perfect. And I'd have to hope for literally feathers and no shock, no blue, and no reds for it to be better than this split. But Whistle Stop Summit, you know, it's a short track. There's not a lot of opportunities to get redded. And even if you do see reds, they can oftentimes just break on stuff. And it'll make no sense. But that's just how it is. This is a great start. Great lap one. Basically drove that perfect. Nothing I can really improve on, I think, in that department. And I decide to take the normal line, of course. The normal online line to get that double. And everything's gone great so far. Nothing to complain about. If everything goes perfect here, I could be up 5 seconds. But alas,
That's super duper stupid.
I am target shocked
Yeah, of course I'm
and
blue.
blued. So, yeah. Just blued in a terrible spot as well, because I'm...
Wow, just all my luck has gone down the drain.
yeah, like I said, my luck is gone. I'm over it. Mario Bros. Circuit plus Whistle Stop Summit has not made me a happy camper. So, I'm just thinking in my head, what's the damage at this point? Am I going to be down like 10 seconds? Almost, because of that target shock? Because that's honestly...
Oh, wow. I'm losing like 10 seconds.
honestly might be the worst target shock spot in the speedrun. Like, not even joking. This is very, very bad. Right before the shortcut. But the good thing for me is I drive the rest of the track perfect. So instead of losing 12 seconds, I'm losing 9. Yeah, that's pretty cool, you know?
Wow.
Right? Could be worse. And now we're going to skip ahead to... Just kidding, we're going to Crowd City.
Gain like 10 seconds now. Let's
Like
do
I
this.
said, there's 10 seconds to gain here. You saw how bad my Crown City was in the previous run. It can't go worse than that. Or can it? We're going to find out very shortly. Because if I have another Disaster Crown City, this run is basically over. But I got the trick plus the charge jump, which that saves a little bit. Other I don't really want here. And I'm contemplating, like, do I use this here? I don't want to hold this for so long. So I decided to use it into the wall just for basically no reason.
I think I'd rather have the coin right now.
I think that's correct. I'd rather have coins here than holding a feather that could be ghosted for the rest of the race.
Now feather after coin is pretty good.
Don't end up pulling that, but Nana plus green is something I'm going to be holding for the rest of the race because, you know, double defense is pretty good on this track. You saw me get redded 6 times in the previous Crown City. That normally doesn't happen. Normally it's only 2. So, yeah. I decided for some reason, though, to chain.
I don't know why I chained that,
So,
to be honest.
yeah, I comment on that straight away.
Going for the feather. I don't know.
Coins are also pretty good here, just because I'm not at 20 yet. I definitely should have held. But it kind of worked out because I was getting ghosted and only going to have 1 defense regardless, so getting 4 extra coins is actually not, you know, it's a good, I guess, consequence of my terrible play. Yeah, at this point, this Crown City is going to be better than my previous Crown City, unless disaster strikes.
Are you
I
fucking
have
kidding
no
me?
idea.
Why does
Literally
that
no
happen?
clue why that failed. I got the tree bounce. It just, for some reason, didn't bounce me. I don't know why. And then I went a little bit too tight on the Nisk.
Cool.
So,
Oh, I fucking hate this run so
Yep.
much.
still, to this day, hate it.
Why does it have to be this one? That's like kind of decent luck. I don't understand.
But yeah, this point, I am not very happy. And on
Yeah,
top of that,
I'm losing.
there's a shock,
time here.
which loses me like another 4 seconds.
I'm still gaining time. Wow.
Considering how much of a disaster that Crown City is, I'm saving
Oh, I lost like another
10
10 seconds.
7.7 seconds.
Whatever.
It's incredible. I don't know how I do it.
Just never going for that stupid fucking
Yeah,
strat ever again.
that's a little bit of rage. I'm probably going for that again. But yeah, Faraway Oasis here.
Like 20 would barely even.
This is the final track I will be post-commentating
me even,
because
I think after those,
I start to talk a lot more after
the
this,
tracks
and
or
you'll see
whatever.
why.
they're usually brutal.
Yeah, so if it's pissing you off that I'm commentating over myself, don't worry. It'll only be live commentary, and I won't be commentating over myself after this track. And I'll do a little bit of cuts for the parts I'm not commentating over.
That's really clutch if I can use it.
So, after this race,
nice.
it'll just be
That's so huge.
live me and you guys.
Like a 2-second time save, not even joking.
But also, if you want to see this full run, it'll be in the description. But if you don't want to be spoiled, I think it'll probably be in the video title. What the... Hold on.
Is this following me the whole way? Come on, dissipate. Disappear. Nice. That's so clutch. Oh, okay, that's fine.
But yeah, anyways, so if you want to watch the full run of this, just see
Shock sucks on this track, but
just
That
see
wasn't
how
too
it
bad.
goes. In other parts I didn't talk about, then it'll be in there. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I'll do an outro.
I can pull green, feather, horn, final cut boxes.
Yeah,
That'd be
if you can
great.
tell by now, there is an outro after this run.
That's tough, but that's okay. It doesn't lose too
So
much.
that is a minor spoiler. But this is the best pace I've had ever. So I wanted to include this run. No matter if it
bad.
PB'd or not, you'll see
well.
in the end.
Should still be
So
saving
yeah,
a lot here.
you can tell probably by this point in the video, since there's only a certain amount of time left. But make sure to watch till the very end, because it gets very interesting.
Wow, okay, I'm up 15.
There's no way it keeps up, but it could.
Doesn't make any sense what I just said, but you get the point. Dino will be hard to gain on, but I can. Especially if I pull a feather. At literally any point. This feather saves like another
Not as much as far away, but it's pretty close. Do not want a green shell, though. Green shells don't do jack shit. Oh. You want feathers or double defense? That's fine. Oh, almost just trapped myself. That's all good. No trick there, that's fine. Don't be multiple reds, please. Okay. The blue. I can tell you right now I'm losing time on the split, but not too bad so far. If I can pull feather, it'll be a lot less bad as well. Okay, well, no feather. Game loves to give me feather from this set. It's really funny. Okay, no. Not this time. I should be losing, like, probably 2 seconds. Yeah. I've been here before, guys. Been here before. The fact that I haven't PB'd is saying something, you know? We're gonna do the 6 shroom strat, just like you saw in my very first run. Oh, that's already horrible. Star is like the only item you do not want there. Good thing is I'm bigging this box in 3rd, so it could be another shroom. It is not. Okay. Green is not too bad. Would've been really sick if I got a ghost there, but alas, no such luck. By the way, this is probably still faster than, like, I don't know, driving normally. Just running. Just because the shroom saves so much. But if there's a shock before the next cut, or ghost, that also would not be good. Well, I'm probably losing like 7 seconds at least. It definitely could have been worse. It's not multiple reds so far. Yeah, we're good. At this point, I don't think the reds will reach me, so spending my coin is best way to get speed. Yeah, if I had to guess, we're going to be cutting our lead in half here with this track, which, you know, that happens. Yeah. I just went too high. And I went too low to get back onto the track. Losing even more now. Yeah. Well, it would have been about... It would have been at about 8 seconds, I'd say. Maybe 9. So that's a bad mistake, but it's not the end of the world. Now this track can go plenty of ways. But you really, really don't want to get blued and triple redded, because those usually happen back to back for some reason. I don't know why, it just does. True? Oh my gosh, that would have been so huge. Good thing is now we have protection against triple reds, so we can just drive fast. Sure, missing out on coins with this, but putting it tight here will take out a part of that time loss. Double coin there is huge because I get 6 on the glider. Okay, well I would normally get 6 on the glider, but need defense against myself first and foremost. Yeah, I guess I'm going for Nisk. Nice. That's huge. Saves like a second or two compared to going around. Okay, it's possible I save time to split, but my guess is I'm losing 2 seconds or so. Oh, okay. He just barely got ahead. Okay, Salty. There's plenty of time loss and plenty of time gain. And by plenty of time gain, I mean like 3 seconds. It's not that much. If you can get the strat first, it's kind of risky because the bots can bump you, but it's worth it if you make it. It saves like 0.5. Okay, I got a little bump. Maybe I can still make it. Nice, that's really clutch. Okay, I can just horn the boxes. Okay, I mean, sure. Okay, do feather cut. Nice, that's so huge. Oh my gosh, that Nana. A little scary. I'll just hold this for the end. No reason to risk getting 2 Nanas. Actually, let's try and pull feather. Okay, now we hold this. That's okay. Definitely could be worse. Wow, that's a gold by 4 seconds! Or, not a gold by 4 seconds, but I beat my split by 4 seconds. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, Cheap Cheap, I can barely gain anything. I can gain definitely way less on this track than on Salty, but it's still possible. Oh my gosh, especially if I pulled that, hello? I just need to execute. That's all there is to it. Oh, that was a little risky, but I made it. Okay, and just keep this for a while. Oh, I can get to 20 coins too, but I'll hold for now. Okay. Use the coin here, because I only use it near the next shortcut. Messes up the alignment. Nice. That was beautiful. A work of art. Okay, I mean, feather's not terrible. Oh, that was a little high. Am I making it? Nice. Okay, that's fine. Wow, that's another gold, I think. Yep, nice, wow. That's incredible. And Peach Stadium, there's a lot of time saved too. I could also still lose time here. Possible, but not super likely. I need to mess up really bad, or there needs to be like 2 blues. Or like 5 reds. That's how bad the split is. Okay. That first cut's always the most, what's the word for it? Difficult, I guess. But, oh, nerve-wracking, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, wow, that's so huge. Definitely want to get, like, a feather, for example. Feather's really good here. Also, I could spend my coin here to see if I get the feather. I don't really think about that, but that's okay. It's a lot to focus on at once if I'm not super ready. Okay, we got feather. Feather's really good for the first shortcut. Probably saves like a second or something. Now, the way I did it wasn't amazing, but still definitely saved. I should have held that coin. That's fine. I don't think the reds reach me at this point. Might eat my words, but I don't think they do. Genuinely, if there's no shock, I could be up like 25 seconds. Not even trolling. This is basically the perfect Peach Stadium. Okay, not 25, but 20. That's pretty good. Triple gold. I just need to not lose on Choco. Because Choco usually... I'd say this is like... Probably got the biggest time loss potential, I guess, out of the next couple tracks. The Toad's Factor is actually pretty close. A lot of things can go wrong in this track. You just gotta play your best and hope that CPUs don't fuck you up. Good start. It's a great Superman. Gonna always be going for double till the end because you want to get feathers. Lovely. This first shortcut is sort of like Peach Stadium. You can take it shroomless, but it's so much better with the feather. Nice. Another great Superman. Oh, the football. Okay, we're good. Again, I'm going for the double because I can pull another feather. That's fine. Definitely didn't want feather there. Oh, that's tough. Ooh, I could have probably let that go. I don't think that red would have hurt me that much. But I do keep my 20 coins, so that might pay off in the end. That was a really good Nisk, too. Good Superman. Alright, well. As long as I don't get shocked. I'll do the rail. Saves a little bit. Oh, there's another red. Okay, this time I definitely hold. Go. Okay. Yeah, you're losing a lot there, but that was expected. Now, if I'm still ahead after Toad's Factory, this is really good, because there's a lot of time save in those next 3 tracks. Not as much as the time lost from, like, Choco, and potentially from the rest of these, but definitely has a lot of potential. I'm not doing cow bounce because it's a little bit finicky sometimes. Like the first one, at least. Second one's a little bit too fast for you to skip out on it. This can also be finicky. Now you also want feathers. Oh, that's not good. Okay, at least I got defense. You want feathers here because this final feather cut? Are you serious? That sucks. If I got double there, it's possible I would have had double defense to defend against those, but I suck. Holding this. Yeah, this is just brutal. Not much I can do about it, though. Gonna lose probably just as much in Choco as we are here. That does help a little bit. Trick, extra trick, maybe? Nope. That does save, like, almost a second, I'd say. That's pretty nice. Okay, that's huge. Not gonna take the first feather cut. Just because this one's even more finicky than, like, the first cow bounce. There's a blue, which kind of sucks. At least get past the cow bounce here. Should be fine. Yep, that's fine. That was a much better feather cut. Maybe only like 5 seconds lost? 6, okay. But yeah, Mario Circuit, there's a little bit of time save. Dandelion, there's a little bit. DK Pass, there's a little bit. Shipyard, I need it to be perfect, though. And then Sky High Sunday, there's a little bit. True? Aw, that would've been so sick. Now, I can't beat the first Stomper on lap 2 with that start, but that's okay. I don't know why I didn't go for the second box, but that's okay. There's usually not reds here. Okay, it looks like I would make it, so it's fine. Oh, that's actually pretty decent. Not gonna help me beat the first Stomper that you want to beat here, but it'll help for the rest of the race. Actually decently close. I beat the second Stomper for sure. Feather here is actually not bad on this track. It's really good for when the cycles are bad, and it's hard to know that at all on this track, so... That was a really good turn. Yeah, the cycles here can mess you up, and then the feather's good to recover from that. Looks like no cycle's gonna hurt me here. We'll still hold this for the same point on lap 3. There's no real good feather spot anyways. If I beat the second one, not gonna risk that. Probably could've, but don't want to throw away this run. Still pretty decent, you know? Okay, get a bit of the green conveyor, that's really nice. Yeah, like so. That'll save you a little bit of time over what would have happened. Okay, 3 seconds. That's beautiful. That could have been so much worse. The only way I lose to this split is if I get blued and redded, because I got blued in this split. Or if I mess up really bad, of course. Well, that kind of sucks. That's fine. I'm generally go for the double there anyways, so the fact that I get sent there is not a big deal. Now you really want Feathers here to the point where you will even chain double defense. Or where you should chain double defense in my opinion. Okay. Nice. Okay, I didn't mess up bad there. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Almost 4 seconds saved. That's pretty much best case scenario. Now, Warrior Shipyard is where things can go wrong. But I hope to be up at least 10 seconds by the time we get there. Dandelion, I can lose some time, though. That would be not so good. Okay, Feather's not too terrible on this track. I just gotta like chain in the double and take like a little mini cut. It's a little strange, but it's gonna look something like that. Doesn't save time, but it doesn't... it might save like 0.2 or something. Nice, got all the tricks. Okay, double defense I'll keep for the rest of the race, I don't mind that. Those coins are not worth it, I don't think, to go wide for. Especially when you have some already. I'll let that hit me because there's a boost panel. Don't mind that at all. Oh, there's another rut, I think. That's so unfortunate. Well, I'm gonna lose time on Dandelion, which really sucks. But I made all the right plays, so can't be too mad. Yeah, I'm probably only going to be up like 3 seconds if I had to guess. Maybe even less. Okay, there's a blue, but I should be okay. Okay. Still up 3. Now, it's very possible I don't PB now because of that, but hopefully DK Pass treats me alright. I haven't pulled a coin block in a while, that'd be so nice. I'll take a coin though. Lovely first wall cut. You always go for the boxes here, just because Feather saves so much. And you don't mind getting coins as well. That really does help. That's okay. Okay, coin block, we got it. It's just a little late. Snowball we don't have to worry about because we're fast enough. Like I said, we're gonna go for the box because Feather's so good. And I get my last coin as well. Now on lap 3, since I don't need any coins, I might just not go for feather. Okay. Went a little wide just in case I did pull the feather. Okay, coin block's not great, but it's fine. Snowball might be a problem. Yeah, I had to break for it. Glad I didn't full send it, because I would have... Are you serious? Oh, that sucks. I'm probably losing Diamond DK pass, too. That's very, very unfortunate. I'm gonna risk it for a feather. I mean, there's not gonna be another blue, so... Yeah, well... How much am I losing? Like, maybe 2 seconds? 1, okay. Alright, if the shipyard is not perfect, I don't think I PB. But I really do need this to be perfect. Oh, that would have been a really good start if I pulled a coin, but... Still fine. This disc is gonna be very, very sketchy. Okay, you know what? If it was good, I would have got green, so... I'm glad. You also do want feathers here, because... Even though... It's not the feather cut you think of, but the feather to get onto the rail is really, really good, especially because the cycles on laps 2 and 3 are really, really bad to deal with. Bro. You know what? There's better ways to, or worse ways to fail that. Okay, that's good at least. It's no feather, but the next best thing. Nothing bad happens to me for the rest of this race. I'm gonna be up like a second. Okay, I make it. Okay. I shouldn't lose too much, even if there's a bad shot. Feather doesn't really help at this point, but... Cool, I guess. Alright, please only like 1 second. Only 1, please. Yes! Okay, this is very workable. I could get second worldwide if I save more than 3 seconds. But that's gonna be a hard ask. It'll be close. It'll be very, very close. I need things to basically go perfect if I want to get second worldwide. Good start. Okay, double defense? Sure. That's fine. Oh no, please. Okay, thank goodness. I thought I was dead. That would have been the run right there. Play it safe. Unfortunate mechanic, but at least I reacted to it. Definitely could have been worse. Chain Chomp should be on the other side, so I'm good. Yeah, nice. Okay, just one more lap. Okay. I'll make the final cut. I think I get it. I think I get second worldwide. Come on. No shock. Come on. No, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Go. No. Dude, I missed out on it by like half a second. Okay, a second. Oh, that's so unlucky. Oh, just needed like 3 more seconds of no shock and that would have been it. Wow. Well, that had potential for world record too after Beach Stadium. Man. Well, I guess that's the final run of the video. You guys will see me play this a lot more during the subathon if you want to tune in. Hopefully, I can get another PB and surpass Side B because I'm only 1 second off. But yeah, this has been a wild ride so far, and if you plan on following it even more, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on it. That's all I gotta say. You guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.